Hi, welcome. We're the Weasley sisters. I'm Jessica, also known as Naturally Nitty. This is episode 223.
23.
Sorry, I'm not to the point where I need to be on my show notes.
And I'm Allena, also known as Starnets. Today is May 1st. Yay, it's May, and that means it's a planning podcast. This is our bi-monthly, where we skip a month sometimes, podcast. If you're watching for the first time, welcome. If you're a returning listener, thanks for coming back.
So grab your chair, grab your knitting, pull up a chair, and craft along with us. Oh, sorry.
Why we don't skip a month, because we suck at it when we skip. So
yeah, break months are usually just bad.
yeah, it's crazy. So before we even get into the planning, advanced studies, and talking about that stuff for the House Cup planning, there was an announcement made on the clarification of a few things. So they clarified that like coloring in like those pictures, from what I gather, as part of a paper craft, coloring in those pictures that are line drawings, like you know how people color in those really extensive colors.
Yeah.
That, as long as it's finished where it could be matted and framed, that is considered a non-Ravelry craft.
That's fun.
It's in the announcements. I linked to it, but the most important one is the one that it's linked straight to. And mini mittens that are ornaments and socks, mini socks, can no longer be counted as a part of a Dobby sock or Dobby mitten pair, because they're counting them as a single object. They don't have to be in pairs because they're ornaments.
Okay.
So if you make like mini socks like as an ornament, or mini mittens as an ornament, they don't have to come in pairs anymore. But they also cannot be part of a Dobby sock pair, if that makes sense.
Have full-size socks.
Right. So you need to check that out in the announcements thread, and I've linked it to it. It'll be above the newts in our show notes. So advanced studies. Obviously, if you're doing a newt, you should have already proposed it and started on it, and be working well towards your 50% for your newt.
Crazy.
And owl. Sorry, I had to scroll down. And owls, you can start proposing them from now until the 22nd. And you cannot start them until they are approved by the examiner. So, and then the order missions, starting May 10th, you can propose your broom. And then Quidditch Match 1 starts in 3 days, or in 2 days, I guess, because we're on the 1st. And you're doing comfort food that will help your team win. So you prepare food for your item's team, or a food item for your team's country that they're known for. A main course, a snack, a dessert, or a drink. You earn 5 points for that. In addition to the picture of the finished food, you need to include a picture of the ingredients you used, or link to a reference to the recipe. So there are no yardage points because you're making food. And you need to be specific to the country you're cheering on for this food. So those are all the extracurricular things. But to stay active in the House Cup, you have to do 1 class a month, at least. And you can do up to 6 classes a month. So, where did Jessica go? Am I just talking to myself? So yeah, I am talking to myself. I'm going to add her real quick, and hopefully she'll come back. Oh, there she is.
Hi. I don't know where she went. You froze and I lost you, or you lost me.
I think I lost you because I am still going live and talking to myself, and people are probably like sick of me. So why don't you start with arithmancy?
All right. Okay, so arithmancy, your task is to study one of the recurring numeric or mathematical forms, phenomena, or patterns found in nature and create something inspired by that form. Please remember to identify the numeric.
You froze again. So you have to make sure you identify the numeric or mathematical concept that is inspired by your work. Added bonus for including a picture of your natural inspiration. Non-Ravelry crafts are welcome. So you could do there. I know there's many patterns that go along with this line, so you could definitely find patterns for that. I would think it would be easy to do that. So yeah. Okay, so next up is, hopefully she'll join us in a second. I hope that it's not messing up with your viewing of our show, because hers just keeps dropping her, I'm guessing. I don't know.
I'm sorry. Hi.
I finished reading that prompt for you.
Well, I read the whole, started reading over me, and I'm like, what's going on? And then it froze and dropped me again. So I'm sorry. My Wi-Fi says it's like all the way up. I don't know what's going on.
Fine, so I don't know. So
sorry.
The problem with our internets. We pay a lot of money for them and they suck. So, okay. For the arithmancy, there's a lot of like, I know there's like a couple of nautical patterns that make the shells, which are numerical.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of numerical patterns. So
I would Google it. And then you can figure it out from there.
I'm not an arithmancy person. Like in real life, I'm not smart with math. So, yeah, I knit though, so I can knit. But anyways, next up is astronomy. The ceiling is open to reveal the night sky filled with shimmering stars. I know many of you are familiar with constellations, but it in no way diminishes their grandeur or majestic beauty. The constellations you can view on any given night are dependent on both the season and your location. Many prominent wizarding families name their children after constellations. One example of this is the Black family and, by extension, the Malfoy family. You may recognize some constellations among their names, such as Andromeda, Draco, Scorpius. For your homework, we want you to capture the glittering nature of the constellations. So, craft using beads, stellina, or glitter. Please see the FAQ and post 1 for clarification. Non-Ravelry crafts will be accepted in this class. No prior approval is required.
I think this is the time to spin up your sparkly bats or roving or whatever you got.
Yes. Sparkles are fun.
They are. So that's cool. All right, so I'm going to try this again, and I'm sorry if it cuts out. Charms. Welcome, class. We are studying an interesting but useful charm this month, the Muggle Repelling Charm. As you may have guessed, this charm is very effective for keeping Muggles away. The incantation for this charm is Repello Muggletum, and should be fairly easy for you to remember because it says its name. You may recall that it was used with great success during the Battle of Hogwarts. No Muggles were harmed because they were nowhere near the area, having been repelled away by the simple charm. So for your homework, please craft something that would repel a Muggle, and make sure you tell us why or how a Muggle would be repelled by your submission. If you choose to include them, please put any photos of real creepy crawlies, bugs or vermin, etc., behind a spoiler tag. Instructions on how to do this are included in the FAQ. Non-Ravelry crafts will be accepted if they fit the prior approval is not required. So that's going to be a thread to avoid if you don't like all the creepies. So do you have to like click on it? I didn't look at that. Like, will it like?
I didn't go to the FAQ, but I'm sure that they're just have like you put like a spoiler and then you like then you post your pictures of the scary like real live things, I think.
Right. Like spiders and bugs and gross
Like
stuff.
if you're making like a knit spider or something, which I still wouldn't really want to look at.
No.
But yeah. Okay.
Um,
I'm not sure if I'm going to do that class because I don't like creepy crawlies all that much.
me neither.
Like spiders and bugs are just gross.
Right.
Anyways, so Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is one I did not read, so this will be interesting.
Sorry.
We're focusing on Professor Remus Lupin, who was a Defense Against the Dark Arts professor here at Hogwarts many years ago. Spells and dark creatures are both important in studying Defense Against the Dark Arts. This dark arts creature is called a red cap. Red caps are found where blood has been shed, such as in dungeons of castles, the potholes of old battlefields, or simply in holes underground. For your homework this month, craft something that is red or has holes in it.
Cool. So easy peasy.
Yeah, like any lace.
Yeah.
And anything red. So that's good.
Super easy. All right, moving on. History of magic. This month we are studying the famous Auror Alistair Mad-Eye Moody. Mad-Eye is considered by many to be the most famous Auror of all time, even though he was no longer an Auror. Having retired early, he joined the Order of the Phoenix again during the Second Wizarding War. His mantra became constant vigilance, as he knew he must always be watching for evil doings if he hoped to prevent them. His constant vigilance led him to be somewhat paranoid. It could be said that his paranoia is, at least in part, responsible for his famous abilities. So, craft something that requires constant vigilance to honor Alistair Moody's mantra. Please explain how you were constantly vigilant when turning in your homework. Remember, this will be something that requires your constant attention to complete, and it will vary, between people. Needle-based and non-rev crafts will be accepted without prior approval. So just something that you need to
Pay attention
to that is a little more difficult to you, or that you have to watch what you're doing so you don't mess up. Be it a chart, usually lace or cables or, something like that, you actually have to pay attention to.
It could even be something that you would have to count because you have to pay attention.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So next up is a new class, Magical Law. For our first study, we will have a look at magical law as it pertains to the personal possessions. As we learned in the published canons of Hogwarts history, Headmaster Albus Dumbledore had an interesting last will and testament, leaving objects of historical and personal value to 3 of his students. For our question this month to you is, what would you leave and to whom in your will? For your homework this month, please craft an item or a representation of the item or items for this class. If you're proving a representation, please be sure to tell us how it represents the original item. Creativity will be rewarded. Have fun with this assignment. Non-rivalry crafts will be accepted without prior approval.
Cool.
So, that's like almost all the classes are taking non-rivalry crafts, which is pretty cool. But that's an interesting one.
That is. You could be super creative and like try and give things away that would like kind of be like Dumbledore, so like someone can like complete some sort of mission. I think that would be fun.
I was thinking of like maybe making like a mini spinning wheel or something like that for the, like I will leave that to my kids or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, interesting. That's a good one to think about, I think. And do anything really, because as long as it represents to you something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Muggle studies. Occasionally, we assist Muggle construction workers with particularly difficult projects. I remember the first time I saw the workers using these delightful gadgets. The thermos is much like a flask, but it is built with insulating layers, keeping the beverages warm inside warm or cool for many hours. For your homework this month, craft something to help keep you or an object warm, or craft something brown to represent tea, coffee, or hot cocoa. So it was kind of a fun one to read. Like the Muggle born students went into the classroom and were pouring out cups of like coffee or cocoa, and all the non Muggle born were like freaking out because, like, how is that still hot? It was kind of funny. And then they were trying to use the spell or incantation thermos to keep things warm, but they're like, it's just a thermos. It made me laugh.
That's what I'm gonna have to go read that. So actually, speaking of thermoses, you know those double-walled metal cups like the Avalanche or what's the one that I have? Avis, I think, are awesome. They keep your coffee so hot.
Almost too hot, like they burn your lips.
Like it's as hot as it is when you make the coffee, and then you have to wait and wait and wait. Sometimes they just take the lid off because it's not getting cool, and it's burning my mouth every time I try to drink it. So that's really good. And they keep water. They keep, like, if you put ice water in them, they keep the ice in there for like days.
Yeah.
So those things are awesome. So that being said, I think I've been wanting to make one of those slingshot coffee cozies, which keeps your hands from, does it really keep your coffee warm? I think it kind of, I don't know.
You could argue a case for it. I don't think they'd.
Anyways, I've been wanting to make another one for my thermos.
Mm-hmm.
So I can carry it around on my wrist instead of, but those things are awesome. So
They are.
if you don't have one, you should go get one.
But basically, for that class, you could do anything. Like, it's not just for your hands. It just says to help keep you warm or an object warm. So it could be any sort of cozy, or hat or mittens or sweater or whatever, something that's insulating, I believe.
Yeah, or just craft in brown.
Brown.
Okay, potions. Welcome, students. This term in potions class, we will be studying potions for Elaine. We know that here at Hogwarts, students have multiple opportunities to injure themselves. They're collaborators and innocent bystanders. So we plan to arm you with antidotes. This month, we will be studying the Wiggenweld potion, which can awaken a person from a magically induced sleep, such as the Draught of the Living Death. It's a complicated potion to brew with many steps and many ingredients that must be added in just the right amount at just the right time. Now for your homework, as we ask you to practice this multiple-step composition of the Wiggenweld potion by crafting something whose fabric is multifaceted, where multi means 3 or more. Knitters, crocheters, and weavers should think about multiple stitches and or multiple color patterns. Dyers should use multiple steps in their dyeing process, which may also include multiple colors. Spinners should make a multi-ply yarn.
So think 3 or more.
So I just learned how to make that potion in the new Harry Potter game that I got on my phone, and has been making me unproductive. But Snape does not like me very much in this game.
That's kind of
I
normal.
downloaded it already. See it right there? You
Is
should
that the one I've been seeing on Facebook or something popping up?
Yes, it's awesome. So I am right now I'm learning Swish and Flick. Also, I learned Expelliarmus and everything. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of like if you played their Fantastic Beasts game, where Fantastic Beasts was like a puzzle, like search and find game. But the drawings are similar, if that makes sense. Like it's really well done, and you're like going through Hogwarts and you're learning these things. And there's this punk girl that you want to punch in the face, picks on you because your brother was crazy, stuff like that. It's good. I would say download it and play it because it's fun. So, with that being said, let's go back to our regularly scheduled podcast and catch you guys up what happened to us over the last month.
Has it really been a month since we podcasted?
Yes, because we ended the term.
And that's when we podcasted?
Yeah.
Oopsies, sorry. We were supposed to do it the other week, but then I went away well, you were doing some shows, and then I went away the next weekend for a retreat, and then you went away again for a show. We could have did it in between, but like
That's also known as crazy time.
Yeah. Anyways, so we're back.
Yes, we are.
Do you have any mojo?
I do. I made another bunny nugget.
They were so cute. I might have to copy you and make some.
So I made a bunch, and like I've been saying, like I want to be that creepy person who has like toys in her purse and gives them to kids at church.
Right.
Because sometimes they just get so bored, and there's always like toddlers and stuff around, and their parents are like stressed out. So I haven't gotten to be that crazy. So I made these little bunny nuggets, and I was making them for Easter for Madison and Bella. I forgot to put Madison's in her Easter bag that I sent to her because she's at college, and I let Bella have one. And then I had some extras. So there are kids. We have like a small group, and the kids are like 7 and 4. So I was like, I'm not sure if you're the one lady, she has twins, and they're 7. They might be 8. They're in 1st grade, so I think they're 7. But
I think that's like 6 or 7.
Maybe they're in 2nd grade then. I don't know. And she was like, no, they'll like that. I'm like, if anything, they can just like shoot their dart guns at them. So I made them and I let them pick it out. And then there's also a girl that comes, and she's in kindergarten. And they and I didn't have enough after giving Bella one, so I made a second one. So this is the one that I'm talking about right now. So I made this one, and I used hand spun in it. And I used, for the first 5, I used that core spun that I did a long time ago. And so they turned out like so interesting. I want to see if I deleted that picture or not. Oh, so they turned out so interesting.
They're all different. I love it.
And I have one that I saved. He's right there.
Oh, yes.
Because I liked that one, and I saved him. But I used up all the rest of my core spun. And then I was like, oh, I need another one. So I had some other hand spun. Like sometimes when you knit stuff, you have stuff left over. So that's what I did. And I just made it with that. But this one was a lot smaller, but one of the boys picked it because he liked it. So yeah, but then their moms were telling me that how much they liked them. So I was excited. So I think I need to make more of those. Like someone on Instagram was telling me they make them, and then when they stay at people's houses for like knitting things, they leave them at their house. Like they hide them around their house somewhere.
That's awesome.
And I'm like, that's a really good idea. So anyways, bunny nuggets. I think I'm going to have to make more.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. I think I want to make some. And they're super, quick too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's super fun. They're super fun to make. So anyways, but those are my mojo. So any works in progress?
Yes, I started. So I feel bad because term is just starting now, and I started a sweater for Trubin at the retreat I went to.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm surprised. It's
It's
green.
green. I know. Surprise, surprise. Actually, though, he has a lot of red stuff that he wears, but no, he's excited for the green sweater because, like, after I finished Leah's sweater last, mm, not month, but the month before, he's like, "I want a sweater now. How come she gets everything?"
Was
Of
that
course,
a mission for her?
it was yeah, it was for my order mission. But I was like, okay, so I had this yarn is Knit Picks Brava, that I got from Lauren. She, I think, had a blanket that she was doing from Knit Picks and didn't want it and frogged it. And so I have a bunch of,
Yarn.
which is acrylic, which is totally fine and perfect for a little boy. So
It's gonna totally stretch out.
the Brava,
Any acrylic yarn that I've knit sweaters with, like you remember that eye sweater I made Bella?
yeah.
It's now a dress.
Well, to get gauge, I had to go down. I think the pattern called for, I want to say like sevens, eight. Let me see. I can't see. La 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 la. Yeah, sixes and sevens. Well, sevens for the main body. I had to go down to sixes on worsted weight acrylic, which is pretty big. Like that, and like the I love this yarn, from Hobby Lobby. Like that acrylic is pretty big and round. Like I would almost call it like an Aran or like a heavy worsted.
Yeah.
They're thick, I think. Anyways, so this fabric is really tough, but I figured it'll be okay. It'll be a little more durable. It won't get caught on stuff so much. He's like a seriously boy's boy, always running around and stuff. So basically, it's a cardigan with just a little bit of detailing, rib.
Oh, that's
There's going to be a zipper. There's no hood. And then you can put like grandpa patches on the elbows. And that's basically what it is. So I'm almost done with the body part. I need 1 more inch, and then I get to do the arms. And they do like it's a set-in sleeve, so it's not raglan sleeve, but like I don't know. I bought the pattern.
I was gonna say, what pattern is it?
It's called Chip. I printed out the pattern, but I didn't print out the picture of it because that just wastes ink, and I didn't need it. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing. The yarn was free. He likes green. He needs a sweater. Boom. Anyways, so I kind of feel bad. I'm not going to get any points for this unless what is it, 10 or 15 for detention?
Yeah, but that's still good.
Yeah. I don't care. He'll like it. So then I came home from the retreat and I was like, so I started a sweater for you. It's like, oh, I bet it's going to be my favorite sweater ever. So then like the next day he's like, is it finished? And I'm like, no, I have like 6 inches done. Like it takes me more than like a week to make a sweater. But yeah. So then I was working on it and I had made a bunch of paper beads.
Oh,
I know you've made them
yeah.
before too, and you make stitch markers, and I've seen them and I've always liked them. And I made them like probably like a year ago and have like a bag of these paper beads. So I spent an afternoon making some stitch markers out of them so I could use them on here. They were fun. But yeah, so that's my only work in progress right now.
I have quite a few work in progresses, and they're not all written down.
Ooh.
So I am the Slytherin. I'm on the Slytherin Sunshine Committee, and I'm the blanket square person. So I've been joining blankets because we've had a couple of babies.
I have some to send to you, actually.
So I finished one. I actually have to sew the ends in, so it's not complete. So it's still a work in progress. And then I have this one that I'm like almost done with. Then I have to sew the ends in on that. And then I think that'll be my detention for this month.
I really like how you join them.
It's my favorite way to join them. And then I also am still working on these horrible socks. If I ever say I'm going to knit socks for Andy again, please shoot me in the head or tell me to use sport weight yarn, because fingering weight yarn is not the way to go. So he wears size 13 shoes. So these are like 11 inches long. And I like kind of unvented the heel because I was following the pattern, but because it's like 88 stitches instead of your traditional like what's it, 64 or 72. Um so I kind of like had to adjust the heel. So I kind of like unvented this heel. I don't know what I did, but it works. And there was gonna originally be a heel flap, but I kind of like, I don't know how, I just like skipped that step. So it works. It's the right length. And now I've started on the ribbing to go up because I'm gonna do like a ribbed um all the way up, as much yarn as I can use. And I'm knitting from both ends of the ball because I wanted to use as much as possible to make him socks. But yeah, so, and I had him try it on because they look so big. But yeah, so everyone loves this pattern, and it is yarn I got from when I went on that yarn crawl in Pittsburgh a couple of months. It's called On Light Super Sock Season Color by oh, I don't know, but it's obviously brown and green. So I've been working on those. Like I take them to shows because I have it in a sock box that I made, because a lot of people think that these like they're like basically cubes, and I call them sock boxes because they're basically the perfect size for knitting a pair of socks.
Yes.
And people don't always believe me that your sock yarn plus your socks and your needles, and actually I also have like stuff in there um like, can you hear that? I have needles and like my little sock kit in there too.
Yeah.
I always take these to shows to show people like you can actually fit stuff in them.
Right.
So socks. And then I also have this, which I've been working on forever. And I actually haven't been working on it diligently, but my plan is to finish it hopefully by this weekend. Which I could probably turn this in for detention too. But anyways, I've been working on this vest for Dawn of Fairy Tale Knits. It's in her yarn. I'll see if I can find it. It's in her Shining Armor, which is superwash merino and lurex. It's fingering weight. And this color is Banshee. And I'm making the shawl. It's a shawl collar like vest called Sawvist Dragon by Crafty Flutterby, and she makes the shawl pins, and she and Dawn are having kits of another shawl that she knit and a shawl pin and her yarn. But I was hoping to finish it by Marilyn Sheep and Wool, which we're going on Sunday, so I could just give it to them there so they both could see it because it's her pattern in Dawn's yarn. And then Dawn's going to have kits of this in her shop. So I'm working on this. And I just have a little bit more to go. Like, it has these like shawl dragon wing like things. And I just have to finish the one part. I don't have too much more. I have not been working on it diligently, but I'm planning on finishing it and blocking it and sewing in all the ends. So it takes 2 skeins of the yarn, and it's like really nice. And this Shining Armor with the lurex is super sparkly, and it's like a ply. So it's not like, you know how some yarns that have like shiny stuff in them, it's like just added in. This one's like a ply, so it's like super sparkly and super soft. Really nice.
That is cool.
But yeah, so that's what I'm working on.
That's good. I like that.
Those are my whips.
I'm glad. Actually, okay, so I lied. I'm working on I for some reason I thought I probably could have. I warped up my loom last month thinking I can weave these dish towels, which I could have. I just stopped and did other things within the break month, but I stopped. So I have 2.5 all wove up, and then I need to just finish weaving the half and another one so I can get it off the loom, because I really like in Slytherin, they have warping are for Wednesdays, but they have a weaving thread. I think most houses do actually, but I want to just weave more because it uses up yarn and it's fun and I enjoy it. So anyways, I'm gonna try and finish that in the next couple of days. And yeah, but I don't know. I guess I could try and shove it over here.
That's cool. I'm
My loom.
I'm interested in dishcloths like that because I think that's totally awesome.
I know. I think I want to try dishcloths next. I went to the crafters retreat, and I think I can stand up and grab it. Oops. One of the ladies there that I'm friends with, that her name is Lori. I've known her for a while, but she had this rigid heddle loom.
Oh, cool.
And she wasn't using it, so like for years. So she gave it to me. I have this, and it came with a heddle, obviously, because it's a rigid heddle, but it also came with like a bag of a bunch of shuttles, like the nice wooden ones, which I had one long one and two short ones. And I had made long ones out of like some really crappy, I think it was like balsam wood or something that Joe had found, but they break really easily. But anyway, so I have like, I think like 3 or 4 extra ones. So I'm super excited about that because they're expensive. I went to the yarn shop and like brand new, I think they're at least, I don't know, 10 or 15 or something like a piece. So, but it was all free. So yeah, I'm excited. But she thought to give me this one because the kids have been liking weaving. And oh, I forgot about that. I can show you my one thing. I got these little baby loom. What are they called? Frame looms.
Yeah.
But they basically make like, I don't know, what is this, like 6-7 inches. And I did some like a tapestry thing. Anyways, so this one's mine. But the kids were having fun, and you find a stick and you shove it on there. But I used like roving and stuff and just leftover bits of stuff. Anyways, Truby made one and he gave it to his teacher right away.
Aw.
Yeah, it was fun. But anyway, so the loom, I'm going to see if I can set it up and get the kids weaving a bit on it because they enjoy doing stuff with me. And they always want to use my big one, but I'm like,
No.
well, I don't mind, but like if I have it set up, it's set up for a project, so like for me, so I don't know. So at least I have this extra one now that I can set it up for them and they can weave and do whatever. Maybe I'll just do it with some cotton and they can make us some dishcloths.
There you go. My Bella has been wanting to spin. That's how I feel about it. Like, I'm not sure. Because I have 2 wheels and I can't use them both at the same time, but this is why we don't have nice things. There are holes in the walls from my children. Like, it's like the most terrifying thing ever.
Well, I tried to get them to do the drop spindle. Chloe even bought her own spindle, but she doesn't like it so much.
Well, Bella does too. Like, she has her own drop spindle and she spins on it sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So that is my feeling about these expensive wheels. So we can talk about spinning now. So with that in mind, I was just thinking today because I have, like, I don't know if you can see, like, right here is my spinning wheel, and I have like some green fiber on there. It's not fiber, it's some green yarn. So what I had done is I recycled a sweater that I had, but it was like super thin. Like, this is maybe fingering weight yarn. So I'm plying it together with itself to make like a worsted weight yarn that I could use in something. So I have like a ton of like balls of yarn. So I started plying it, like,
yeah.
But I was thinking maybe to get Bella used to using the wheel, I'd let her ply this because it's
not a bad idea.
Too much, I don't think. I don't know.
I remember the first time I used the wheel, Bridget, the person who taught me, she had me treadle for a night, like at a spinning night or a knitting night that we went to. She had me just sit at the wheel and treadle without doing anything with your hands, just so you get used to that. So I could see doing the plying would be almost, almost the same and a good thing. Just at a nice, slow, even pace.
Yeah, so that's what I think I might. I just thought of that this morning because I was like, oh, I need to finish that so I can clean up. But really, I think I want to teach her how to spin on the Kromsky Sonata because while it's a nice wheel, it's not my favorite. And this Ashford is. I like this Ashford. I like using it better. The Kromsky is. I have like a love-hate relationship with it.
I'm sorry.
So much that I've actually thought about like selling it and getting a different second wheel. Like I was thinking of one of those Babe ones, the PVC pipe ones, because they're like they fold and they're super lightweight. And I was talking to a lady this past weekend, and they're like self-tensioning, which is kind of awesome.
Huh.
Anyways, so spinning. Have you? Besides that, you can see I've been plying this fiber, and I wasn't going to get any points for it because it's just plying and it's not something that I spun.
Right.
And I had started on the Kromsky at a show. I took it with me. I started some fiber I have, but it's back in the case because I brought it back in its case from that show. I didn't bring it over here, so I need to finish that. And I was doing a fractal spin on that.
I have this. I don't even know the content. There wasn't a thing with it, but it was like a sock yarn roving.
Oh
where
yeah, sure.
The coordinating things. I didn't finish it in time for classes or anything. And I still need to wash it. It still isn't completely finished. But yeah, so I spun that over the break month. I had started, I think I had spun the bulk of it, the brown stuff, earlier, and I finished it not in time for classes, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I have that. I also, oh crap. I did the Kickstarter for the electric eel wheel mini back in December. So this thing is super tiny. Okay, like these bobbins are like the size of my finger. I don't know if you can tell. Like it's crazy tiny. It was, I think, $50. No, I did 60, so I got 3 bobbins for this. Like, and it was a Kickstarter project where you fund people so they can manufacture it or whatever. So I've only tested out a little bit. I think I'll take this off so that if I want to do a project on there for classes, I can. But it's so tiny. It's like the cute, like, look at it. It's like super tiny.
That's so cute.
But yeah, so, and it's super light. I don't know if you can see. It says the eel. It says it on there. I don't know if you
been seeing a lot of people on Instagram getting it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people had. Like, they had so many different options. You could buy like 3 of them and like get.
Oh no, she froze again. I know that there was a bunch of options because I had looked into it, but then I ended up not deciding not to because I taught someone how to spin on an e-spinner and I was not a fan. But that's my personal opinion. So I hope that you have better luck with it. And I know it would be fun for like spinning in the car or just sitting at the table. Like I taught this lady how to spin on it because she had problems with her knees. So she couldn't really do the pedaling motion. So yeah. I was hoping she would come back before I stopped talking, but she's not. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully that'll refresh real quick. Oh, there we go. Is it refreshing? Okay, so mini wheel.
It cut me off. You were talking about how you taught someone to spin on one and you didn't like it. I'm hoping, I don't know, I only did a tiny little bit. I have no clue. But it has such a light tension that I think it'd be good to teach the kids how to spin on. And
Yeah.
that's one of the, like, I wanted to see what an e-spinner was like. I know it's super small and they say the motor isn't that great. So like the tension, um, it doesn't have that great of a tension. I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll like it or not, but I figured, as a teaching tool, I've spent $50 on way less thing. I mean, I've wasted it on other things. Anyway, so basically all you do is you plug it in and then there's this little turning thing that does the speed and that's it. There's no on or off switch. It's just that. Um, but I've seen people, you can get a cord that hooks up to a 9-volt battery or one of those, like battery packs, like the power
Yeah.
packs that you can like charge cell phones on or whatever. And you can hook it straight up to that and just have it here. So I want to get one of those because I think it'd be cool not to have it like have to be in the wall. And then they have this like rubber band around it because it is so light. It's right here. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah.
That some people put a book under it.
Yeah.
And just
like I think it's really cool. Like it's definitely good for portable. Like if
and my main thing was like teaching the kids, like you said, you don't want to give them one of your wheels, like because I totally get that, I really do. But this
wheels are more expensive than my wheels, like big time.
I know. So like I don't want them to play like I know that's super like greedy of me, but I don't want them playing with my wheels just yet. But this I wouldn't mind. So anyways, fun, cute. It's like adorably cute. Like I can't get over it. The bobbins are just so tiny.
Like you can, like knit tiny things and hang it around them.
I know, like it's just adorable.
House with like tiny sweaters and tiny socks.
I made this on my tiny spinning wheel with my tiny, anyways, but super cute. I'm glad I got it. And it came sooner than I thought. It was supposed to, I think come in summer. Like I think June is when they
That's awesome.
predicted. So I saw people getting them like a month ago and I was like, ooh, but I was like, I think number 680 something. So like he's working his way through, but pretty cool. I'm not sure if the people like the original size, like there's
like a big size,
the bigger size, like a bobbin.
Yeah.
It's an electric eel wheel mini. But I don't know. They're affordable. Like I think the regular size one is $250, whereas all other e-spinners are like at least almost $1,000. They're crazy. Anyways, I figured for $50, it's it was worth it to try. I think
that's cool.
So yeah, and then okay, so I don't have it up there. At my retreat, I brought my sidekick, which is up there.
Yeah.
And I started spinning some fiber, some merino that I had dyed, but I seriously got like one tiny layer on the bobbin. Your first layer, which is really small usually. I think I spun for like half hour, an hour up there at the most, and that's it. And I think I'm going to just scrap that and start the project over on my matchless because I like my matchless better as well. And I have 8 ounces of the fiber, so getting rid of like maybe a half an ounce is not going to kill me, so that I can use it for class, because otherwise like that's another project that I cannot turn in.
You could ply it with the stuff you have on your mini spinner.
Good.
On your mini spinner, and then just
Ooh, that's not a bad idea.
Just to try it and maybe turn that in for detention. So there. Fun? Or what? Oh, is she cut out again? That's cool though. So sewing.
That's a good idea.
Oh, you're back. What'd you say?
Am I back? Okay, like you cut out on me. I'm sorry. I hate my computer. No, that was it. I just hated that I started it and like didn't get very far. And I was like, I don't care. I'm gonna scrap it. Or not scrap it, but just, start over this month with the rest of it.
So you can ply, and if you have enough, you can knit a mini sweater for your mini wheel.
I will. Sounds good. So sewing.
Yeah, so I've had a couple of shows since we've last talked this month. Um, when we last talked, I was getting ready for Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet. And then after that, I had Allentown. And then last weekend, I had Powhatan, which is in Virginia. So I've been doing lots of sewing and lots of shows. And I have more sewing and more shows to do. But I'm finally out of my like breakneck show every week, pretty much. So I now have like a show a month, if that. So I have the schools festival coming up, and then in June I have one called the Blue Ridge Fiber Festival in North Carolina. So that one should be fun. It's a new one for the first one. And then in July I have the Gypsy Stardust one, which I did last year, and then I have the SSK. So I'm excited for a knitting retreat, and then I'm vending at it too. So
that'll be really fun. I'm totally jealous.
I never get to go to like knitting camp or anything, and I get to go this year, so I'm excited.
It's very cool. I'm excited for you. It'll be super fun, I'm sure.
So we're just going to skip over gym, or are we going to talk about gym? Should we like do something for the summer, like get moving?
Yeah.
I'll think about it, because I think if we get like a weekly check-in, that helps me stay on track.
I totally suck at it, and I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well, I'll think about it and see if I have time to do it. Like, I didn't have time until now. Like, now that I'm like out of all the show rush, I could probably do stuff. So I'm going to think about it and see if anyone has any ideas of like what would help them be motivated to work out. Shoot me a message on Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, on Ravelry. You can shoot me a message on Instagram too if you want it, but Ravelry probably works best. And I'll think of some sort of challenge that we could all do, you know, to get us all moving. So yeah. So binging? You've been binging on anything?
Yeah, I binged through the Mercyverse series, which was awesome. And then so we went to the library, and Chloe has a hard time. I think she's like in the reading stage where like she's a good reader, but she like sometimes she doesn't understand stuff, and she's very picky as to what she likes. And
always can find a genre or like series that you like.
That's what I'm saying. Like she hasn't found it yet. So anyway, so we were at the library looking, and we found these ones called Keeper of the Lost Cities. And so we got the first one and we brought it home, and I'm like, this looks interesting. So I like read through it in like a day. And she's like, I can't believe you read that. Like it was like bigger, but the print was big and stuff like that. But it was interesting enough, and it's like fantasy and like about elves and like magic-y stuff. But still about a girl who's like 12 or 13 or something. So she started to read that. But so I read that, and then I knew the library had like 3 other ones, so I went back and got them and read them all. And they were fun and like, you know, super. It's not young adult. What's the one before that? Like there's like
middle grade.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was like, you know, her age type stuff. But it was fun and interesting enough, and I read through them.
Like the Tale of Emily Winsnap.
Oh.
It's a girl who's a mermaid, like part mermaid.
Oh.
I read through them, and she liked them.
She probably would. But anyway, so she's reading through the first one still.
Cool.
But yeah, so I got into them. I think there's a couple more books, but our library didn't have them when we went there. I didn't check online. But anyways, and then I moved on to Holly Black's The Curse Worker series. Have you read those? Because I got them from you.
Yeah, I actually haven't finished the last one, but it's like White Cat.
Yeah, White Cat, Red Glove, and
Black Heart. I haven't read Black Heart yet.
So I listened to those, and they were pretty good. They're all right.
I was reading them right as I got to the like, I can't handle any more teenage angst. And
yeah, it wasn't too. It's from a boy's point of view, so it's not too much angsty, but it's still like that age. But it was just something like, I don't know.
It was interesting, yeah,
magic-y, and it was different magic. And I liked how they portrayed it as like being cursed or cursed, like they worked curses, and it wasn't like a good thing.
Yeah,
it was just a cool
Yeah, and I really like Holly Black. Like, I like her creepy books. Like, she has one called The Doll Bones, which is really creepy. They're like for younger kids too, but they're so creepy.
Okay, I haven't read those.
It's a good one. Doll Bones, that one's good. She wrote she was Spiderwick Chronicles.
Oh,
So those are kind of creepy too, but they're also for younger kids. I think she wrote those.
I know she like co-wrote something.
With Cassandra Clare, the
Yeah,
Magisterium series, I think.
yeah. I haven't read those, but
I
like I remember seeing her name, so
read
then it kind of like perked my interest. Anyway, so it was good enough.
But she like writes creepy good, like creepy stories. Like I just like them. I just
Yeah,
like the way she writes, like dark, creepy.
a little bit darker, yeah. But still okay for kids, I think is it was good. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Now I just barely started Patricia Briggs's Raven.
Oh yeah, that one I read the first one and I
And
just
I'm not sure if I can get into it. It's like going so slow. Like I probably like only like 20 half hour into it, listening to it, and I'm like, eh. So now I'm trying to find or figure out what I want to listen to.
a story, but like it was before she wrote the Mercyverse
Right.
and Alpha and Omega.
Right. I figured that. It's like old timey and stuff.
Her Hurog ones I liked a lot. They were the dragon ones. Those ones were good.
I listened to those a while ago. Oh, I also listened to before the Curse Workers, um, Chloe Neal's Devil's Isle. You have the first two from Audible,
Yeah.
and this is the third one, The Hunt. I don't know if you've read it or not. Did
No,
you?
I haven't. And it's on my Audible wish list, but I haven't bought it yet because I'm like, I don't know if I want to continue with it.
Yeah, yeah. It was okay. It's not something I would listen to over and over again or anything,
It's
but
like kind of angsty, like the other two were.
this one, yeah, there's angst and it's anyways, but that's why I just got it from the library and read it.
Yeah.
Um, it didn't take that long. It's all right. But yeah, I finished it because I need to finish a series when they have them.
And I don't see like I like will read them and I'll be like I don't care anymore. These characters I don't care about. And now if they like have drawn me in and I really care, I'll finish them. But like I haven't finished that one. The Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I didn't read that last one.
Oh, it's so angsty. Don't. I was mad at it.
I just don't care. Well, I was mad at the how it went in the second book, and I was like, why am I reading this? I don't care. These characters suck. So that's basically where I am with that series, that Chloe Neal series. Even though like I kind of want to know what finishes, but I just don't like the way she ended it. It pissed me off.
Well, I can tell you what happens later if you want.
And then, what's the other series that I haven't finished? Because the Curse Workers. I didn't finish that one because I was just like, I don't actually care about your teenage angst.
Well, those are super fast books too. Like I think it was only a few hours
Yeah.
of listening. So
Yeah.
like it got I think I just listened to them in a couple days, like and I was just like bloop, bloop, bloop. And it helped me do laundry and stuff. Like sometimes I just need something to listen.
Well, I just have realized like I've been more drawn to like adult character books.
Right.
Like,
Which is sometimes hard to find though.
I know because you think you're getting into one and they're college age, but they're basically in high school. It just bugs me because
Right.
I'm older and I want to read about older people. You know what I mean? Like
That's natural.
what like matters to you in high school is like not that crazy. You know what I mean? You know, like even like middle grade books. Like I have a couple that I want to read. Like there's this Lighthouse series that I picked up, and then the Magisterium series, but they're for like middle grade, so it's going to be kids in like middle school age, like 13, 14, that I'm like, I don't know if I actually want to read this.
Right.
Because like what they care about just doesn't matter.
Right. In the law in like the realm
Yeah.
of it.
And like I don't care to invest that much time into a series. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like I will read some of them because if Bella wants to read them, which she's older now, so she wants to read older books,
Right.
like the teenager books, which they really don't have like a buffer between the teenager and then the like young adult, because some of the young adult stuff is more for like older kids than
Right.
younger kids. But right now, Bella's reading The Red Pyramid, which is by Rick Riordan.
Yes.
It's like Egypt, like you know how the Percy Jackson is Greek mythology, and then the Magnus Chase I think is Roman mythology. Um, the Red Pyramid series is Egyptian mythology. So I read those first two ones, and I really liked them because I like the Egypt stuff.
I like Rick Riordan. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The Keeper of the Lost Cities totally reminded me of him, like Rick Riordan and
Well,
that writing
the library recommends it to me all the time.
and that age. Anyways, but yeah,
But anyways, so yeah, I have like, and then sometimes you get like the adult books, and they're like all like erotica, and like sometimes I'm like, I don't really want to read that either. I want an actual story to read, like a story.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear ya.
But then there's sometimes where you just don't want a story and you just want fun. So I have those. Those are like the coffee house murder books. Those are fun, like beach reads. But anyways, I digress.
So okay, so then we went to Goodwill.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, so I looked through the books when we're there, and I found the Fifth Wave.
Seriously? I'm jealous.
So at our Goodwill, paperbacks are $1 or 99 cents, and hardcover, which this one is $1.99. So I was like, dude, for like $4, I had the whole series.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome, right?
So whenever I go to Goodwill, I never find, like, I have a bunch up there. You can't see them. And I have like the fourth book to buy still because they didn't have the last book.
Yeah. So I got these. I know Gabe said he read the first one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he did it for school or just like read it in school, but he said it was good. And I remember we watched the movie together, and I thought it was interesting enough. So I was like, I'll get him.
Big time.
So like he stole it. He wanted to reread it. So he like I think is somewhere. Yeah, he's like somewhere in there.
Yeah, I read the first one, but again, the teenager part of it, I'm just like,
well, whatever. I'll read through them.
I have those books.
But and then we also got Gabe had the Maze Runner.
Yeah.
But they had the other 3 books there for 99 cents, so I picked those up just to have them because the kids, like Leah's starting to read through books kind of like mad. So I figured just to buy and have some around.
Yeah, I have the first 2 of that series, Maze Runner and Scorch Trials, but they didn't have the third one, so I couldn't get that one.
Yeah, we have
Hunger. I have the first 2 of those, and they didn't.
I got that a while ago. I need the middle one. I have Hunger Games and Mockingjay. I need whatever it is, Catching Fire.
Yeah,
I have Divergent. I want to get the other 2 of those for her too. Though I think she's read through. No, she read through Hunger Games.
Yeah,
she hasn't read the Divergent ones yet.
So I don't have Divergent, but I have the other ones. But yeah, so like,
but yeah, so that's my new thing is going to Goodwill and looking for books because I'm like, really, I rack up more library fines from not like returning books. Like I think because like the kids all have their own cards. So like every time we use one of their cards, like you owe $4 or you owe like this much. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm just gonna start buying stupid books for $1 because it's cheaper and worth it. And then, when they're all old and whatever, I'll get rid of them.
But. Well, with the Overdrive, you could connect their Kindles to it and then just download it to their Kindles instead of getting the actual book.
True.
But then they have to finish it within like the month.
Yeah, she doesn't always. She's reading the Mortal Instruments right now.
Oh, that's cool. Did you see she put out a couple new books in that
series?
in that time universe. I don't know. It's called like the Lord of something, Lord of Chaos, I think.
No, that's
It was
interesting.
on the library's website. They were recommending it to me.
Huh? No, I didn't know. Um,
I think it's in the Mortal Instruments. I don't know. I have to go look. But anyways,
but yeah,
I've
so
been
she's
on
I think she's
anything.
on the fifth book now. Um, which I forget what it's called, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so that's where I'm at reading wise. Um, yeah,
Well, I am.
and I haven't really watched anything
Oh, okay.
significantly.
I also binged through the Mercyverse a little bit after you because I got the new one and then I wanted to read through them all. So I read through them all. And while I was doing that, because I don't know if you know, well, you know, but the people that are watching don't know. They might know.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
She made
You need to bring
graphic.
those in July.
Okay, she made graphic novels, and so this one is like the called Homecoming, and it's like the first origin story or whatever, like of how Mercy got there. And so you're like reading through it, it's good and all, but I there's like a few things that I don't like. Like they changed some of the stuff that they talk about in Moon Called. Like supposedly she was living there before Adam moved there. And
Isn't
in
that
this
why he moved there?
what?
I thought that's why he moved there because she did. She lived there first, and then he built his house there because of it.
Right, that's what they said. But in here, like they moved there at the same time.
Oh,
Anyways, but it's good because it's like good to see him. But though, like I think I like the way she looks. They make, yeah, it's good. It was good to like. It was fun to read. So then there's another one called Hop Cross Jilly, and that one was good. It was more about Jesse, and it's in between. It's in between some of the later ones. So that one was good. So
they could like
and
make.
I got them from Amazon for like $2 or $3.
Oh, that's not bad. Maybe
Maybe
I should.
a little bit more. With shipping, it was probably like 7. So then they made the Mercy Thompson Moon Called into a graphic novel, like 1 and 2. So I got them, and that was cool to read too. And they like condensed it really big, but it was pretty cool to see like how the people like like I have a picture of what they look like. Like Stefan does not look like what in these books. He doesn't look like what I think he looks like.
Okay.
Books, like he has like super long hair in these. Like this is Stefan right here. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh no, that's not Stefan.
So yeah, so that's like one thing. And then Elizaveta is like this tall, skinny lady, and I always pictured her like a babushka type grandma,
A squishy grandma
like a big, like a tall, heavy set woman with a bunch of beads. That's what I pictured her with, and they don't draw her like that.
and lots of fabric.
Right. And that's how they're kind of like described. But anyway, but this was good to see. And then but yeah, so I read all of those. So I got those and I read all of them. Graphic novels.
That's cool.
So yeah, but it was cool to like see like how the things are set up, and you know, like and it's in like a comic book fashion, which is different than the actual book, but it was still fun to read through. But yeah, so I read through those and I finished it all. And then I started on the others by Anne Bishop again, which I hadn't read for 2 years. So
I need to finish that series. That's actually one I haven't. I should do that. That's what I should do next. Thank you.
so I am on the 4th book because there's 5, and then they just brought out a 6th one in the same universe. It's not in the same storyline, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And I am really liking that. Like re-listening through it, like rereading it, I am picking up so much more than I did the first time. So it's really good to read through, and I really do like that series. But like I've been reading more than I've been watching stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like the only thing that I binge watched, for real binge watched, so they brought they brought out the second season of Series of Unfortunate Events. So Bella and I binge watched through that, and that was really good. And then I started watching that. Netflix brought out a new show called Lost in Space, and I was like, I wonder if that's any good, because the movie they made from that old TV show sucked. Like, it was okay to watch, but it wasn't like the best representation of it. But so I started watching this new series, and they are doing a phenomenal job. Like, so I'm like maybe halfway through it. But like haven't been watching too much show, so I haven't been able to. And then I started like the second season of Jessica Jones, and I binged watched then. Then this is what I truly binged watched, like, and I mean in like 2 days. Into the Badlands, because I wanted to
swords and stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to watch
on TV,
and they have it on Netflix. And the new season was coming out. It was going to start like a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to catch up and watch it because it was starting after The Walking Dead, or Fear the Walking Dead. So I was like, I might as well just do it because I'm going to be up and stay to watch Talking Dead. So I like quick binge watch Into the Badlands, and it is now I think my most favorite show. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It's awesome. I love it. It's just like kind of like Matrixy with swords and craziness. It's like so good. And so I'm like watching it, and I really enjoyed it. Like, when it first came out, like they had it in between The Walking Dead and Talking Dead, and I was annoyed with it, so I didn't ever get into it. But then I binge watched it on Netflix, and I really did like it. It's really good. So yeah. And actually, I didn't watch Monday. I didn't watch or Sunday. I didn't watch the new one, so I have to go on Sling and watch it. So yeah. But then I've been watching Fear the Walking Dead, because that's the same thing. Like, when Fear the Walking Dead came out, I was like, I don't know if I like that. But then I borrowed the seasons from a friend of ours, and
I got annoyed with it.
It got better. So I watched it, and now this season is so interesting because they have the Morgan crossover.
Oh.
So Morgan went from Walking Dead to the Fear Walking Dead, and like they're like catching Fear the Walking Dead up to the same timeline.
Okay.
Like, look up the timeline, how they work together, so I can like wrap my brain around it. But yeah. So that's what I've been watching. But like I said, I haven't been watching too much. That the Into the Badlands, I spent a day watching TV and making crochet hooks and stitch markers. So yeah,
works.
But anyways, okay. So like I don't get to watch much unless I'm doing stuff like that. So we're now into random randomness, and thank you for sticking around this long. We'll be talking for probably another hour. Just kidding. But yeah, so random randomness, there's been a lot of stuff going on, obviously, because we haven't podcasted for a month.
I know.
So yeah.
Crazy. I don't even know like what's actually happened, but real recently we've decided to extend our chicken run, and the back, like left side of our backyard isn't really used that much. So I decided from like where the coop is just to like extend it to the back property line and over to the corner and make a huge big run that's going to be fenced in. It won't have a covered top, so like during the day they can go out there, but we'll still shut them in the completely enclosed thing at night, or when we're gone. But I like letting them outside and like running around, but you have to like really watch them because we're in the city, so like we have neighbors, and they try and go into other people's yards, which I don't think they mind all that much, but some of them have like nice gardens and flowers and stuff, and I don't want them ever wrecking that. So that's why we decided to make a bigger run.
That's
technically, you know, they could just stay in their little coop where they are. Like that's enough room for them, but I want them to be happy, and they like walking around and stuff. So that's what we're doing. The cool part of it is Dad and Mary had dug up their garden, not garden, like, you know, flower beds around the house. And you know, those like, they're like called garden landscaping. I don't know. It's not completely circle and they're not square. They're like oval where like,
yeah.
they're like that. Anyways, we have those posts, and we had a bunch of them just sitting on the side of our house from them that we took. Well, we had just enough perfectly to put them 8 feet around the whole area that we wanted. Like it worked out perfectly. So, because like if you get fence posts like from Home Depot or Menards or whatever, they're expensive. They're like, I don't know, like $8 to $10 a pop. I think. I don't know. I forget what the last time we looked. Um, which adds up when you need however many of them. So we have those all in, and we bought the fencing material was on sale at, where we go, Fleet Farm. It was 20% off the other day, and we went and got it. So yeah, I'm excited. We just have to put that up, and then we have to buy some 2x4s to like line it, like to connect all the posts together. But so that's the only thing we have to buy. But I'm excited for that. So we've been doing that kind of stuff and working outside now that it's finally spring-ish. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I built weights for my tent,
Ooh.
my vendor tent, and so what I did was I followed a Pinterest recipe. So you get like a 4-inch PVC pipe, and you cut it into 2.5 feet. Actually, I had the people at Lowe's cut it for me,
Okay.
and then I just took it in parts because it's like 10 foot, and so you cut it into 4, and then you fill it with your concrete. And then I bought like 80-pound concrete sacks, are heavy. So I
80
bought
pounds.
those, and you put them in the thing, and you make these weights. Anyways, and you get this like eye hook thing, and anyways, so I did that last week. I made it for my tent for this past weekend's show, and it was crazy. So since we last talked, I had Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet, then Allentown, then Powhatan, and I had like 1 week off in between Allentown and Powhatan. I could have had a show that weekend, but I just needed a weekend off. So yeah. So for Pittsburgh, Bella came with me, and she helped me. And at Pittsburgh, there was a shop there called Going Gnome, and they were a needle felting shop, Going Gnome, and they had so many cool things. Like I took a video, which I posted on my Facebook page, of they needle felted Smog and all the hobbits and all the dwarves and Gandalf. Like they looked like the movie. I'm not even kidding. It's amazing. Amazing. And they needle felted that, and they had like all these needle felted, and then they had kits that you could buy, which I didn't bring them over here, but yeah. So they had demos all weekend, and you could sign up for free and make a little gnome, like a mini gnome. They had like mini gnomes. So I signed Bella up because she was kind of bored, and she made me a gnome.
That's so cute.
So she needle felted it, and then she was talking to them, and they were up for trades. So I traded them a bag each because there was sisters who did this. I gave them a bag each, and then Bella got some kits, and she made me this sheep, which we named Goliath because he's really big. But she needle felted him, and then she has a fox that she still needs to make. And then I think I was going to use some of the fiber that I have downstairs and like just card it real quick for her. And then she could dye it and make like, I told her she needs to make me more gnomes because they're so freaking cute. Like this one's bigger than what it was. Like they wanted them to be like this big, but she didn't like push it down enough. I don't know. I don't really know about needle felting, but she really liked that. And so she got that. She has some kits for needle felting, and she was all excited about that. So that was fun for her.
That's
and
sweet.
then, like, because since Madison's at college, Bella's my helper now, right? So, and it's a little different when you have a 17 or 18-year-old and a 13-year-old. So then, at Allentown, so I didn't buy anything at Pittsburgh Knit Crochet except for those needle felting kits that I traded for. But before that, do you remember me telling you I signed up for Dawn of Fairy Tale Knits has a magical creatures yarn club, and what it is her daughter Tori, who's 14 or 15, I think, draws pictures of magical creatures, and then Dawn will dye the yarn to match, and you can pick two different themes. You can pick the Sphinx one, which is worsted weight or errand or DK, worsted weight or maybe errand, I don't know, yarn, or you could pick fairy wings, which is DK and fingering, and I picked fairy wings. So this was the first one that she drew, and it was like a unicorn center.
Yeah.
So then she sends the so in the kit you get the yarn. So this is what she dyed to match that. Now, like, it's really washed out because my coloring is not really good. And this is on that Shining Armor sparkly base too. And it's like luxury yarn, so it'll be like the nicer yarn. And then she has like extras that come with it. So this one came with a sticker. It says 100% unicorn, and a really cool progress keeper stitch marker that's also a unicorn. Perfect for my first yarn club. So that I signed up for that. And then when you sign up for it, this one I traded her for. She got a bag and I got the yarn club. But then I bought the next one, which is this one. So then she had this one, which is the Fairy Godmother.
That's fun.
So then she dyed. This is what she dyed. It's like the most pretty color ever. And then the stitch marker for it is a pumpkin carriage.
Oh, cute.
And so this is the yarn. But she forgot to put the label on it, so she sent me the label. So this one was Enchanting Fingering, which is superfine merino and mulberry silk. Fingering weight. And this is the Fairy Godmother colorway. And I love, it's like all different shades of green. It's so pretty. I can't wait to use it. So that is the yarn that I got the second month of the fiber club or yarn club. I keep saying fiber club because I've only done fiber clubs. I've never really done yarn clubs. So I've been like really loving this because it's like magical creatures and she dyes like such bright colors. I love it. And also like she sends a picture of what inspired it, and then she talks a little bit about it, and then she has like pattern recommendations like of one skein patterns, which I think is really cool. And she has like knitting and crochet for both weights of the club. So that was my second club. So I got that at I got it at Allentown. Okay. She brought it to me at Allentown. So while I was at Allentown, oh, did I show you what I got at Indie Knit and Spin?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So I got some Fiber Nymph Dye Works self-striping yarn.
Maybe not.
This one's called The Likely Suspects, and it's the Clue characters.
Oh, I think or you showed me not on a podcast. I don't remember.
I might have talked about it, but then this one I got for Andy, and I know I said I was never going to knit him socks again, but it's sport weight, and it's self-striping, and it's like light blues and greens and grays. So I think I could knit him sport weight socks faster than other ones. And I did buy this at Pittsburgh Knit and Crochet. So this was Yak Yarns. We did a kit together. Carrie is her name, and I made work in progress bags, and she dyed yarn to match. Let me find the picture. And so we had like 20 kits available, and I put them. I don't know why I can't find it. So she had the yarn, I had the thing, and then we each had like 20 of them there. Where is it?
Like a special thing.
Yeah, so this is what they are.
That's cool.
So it's like a really pretty batik flower, and then she dyed the purple yarn. But she had show colorway, which is called a Ravager's Funeral, which is from Avengers 2, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay.
Pretty cool. And I think I'm going to knit one of my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy patterns on it. I think Magrathea, I think I'm going to knit with it because it's like fingering weight yarn. So, you know, that her patterns, Martina Bem's patterns are like weight based. So you like weigh it and then you, anyways, just because I'm totally talking about all the stuff I got. And I'm still going. So I got that at Crochet. It's really pretty.
That is. I really like that colorway. It's
I
pretty.
kind of went a little overboard then at Allentown Fiber Festival. So first, do you remember my I seriously went a little insane. That yarn I spun for Andy's vest and I hated it, and so I never finished that vest. It was bad. So I was looking for a softer yarn or fiber.
Ooh.
So I got a pound of okay, no, I was going to get a pound, but I didn't have enough, and I only need like 800 yards. So I got 7.5 ounces of, it's a Romneydale and CVM from it's called a Bountiful Farm. She has rabbits, and so Bella always goes and talks to her with her rabbits, but it's like super soft and it's like brown. So I'm gonna spin it, and I was looking at some yarn they spun from it, and it was really nice. So I think like it'll work better for Andy's vest, and then I can dye it darker if he wants it darker. But I kind of like it in that natural color.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And then I kind of still went a little more. So I got these really cool earrings.
They're fun. They from Needles?
Yeah, so they're from Needles. It's Rajovic Designs. And they're like 10.5, I think, or 10.
Those are very cool.
Green. So I was like, I need those earrings. They're super nice. So I got those. And then I got from Oink Pigments. I traded a bag and then paid the extra. So I got this for Bella because she's into needle felting. So it's a pig that she gets to needle felt. And then I got this, was her show colorway called Give Peeps a Chance.
That's cute.
So it's like all the colors of the Peeps.
Mm-hmm.
I got a button. I need to put it on my thing. So she's really nice. Her name's Helena, I think. She had a bunch of different socks. This base was the Superwash Merino Bamboo Nylon base. I liked it because it had more blues than yellow in it, so that's why I picked it. But yeah, so it was like all the colors of Peeps, so that was fun. Even though I don't like Peeps, it was fun.
I don't either.
But yeah, so that's from Oink Pigments.
That's a fun name.
Dyer. And then I'm not done. I'm sorry, people.
No, you're totally fine. I am going to be right back, so you keep talking.
I will keep talking. So then at Allentown, they also had the fiberists were there, and I just got my ply a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two ago, and it's all about flax. So I wasn't sure. I've never spun flax, so I was interested in flax. So they had some flax top, which they call it the Linnaeus top. And they have they're super smart. So they have like all this stuff. So I got 2 different flax to try spinning. And I was going to get, they had like a flax wool blend, but I thought I'll just try the full flax. And I think it's like plied with different stuff, but it's a top. So he recommended like you spray it and wait. You spray it with water, like a water sprayer, and wait a minute or 2 and then spin with it. So yeah, so I got this blue and then this like pinkish with blue. So I thought maybe if I spun it, I could spin them together. But I figured, who knows? Like, I've never spun flax before, so it would be good to try. So I got this from the Fiberists.
I wonder if you have to spin that in a specific way. Flax?
Yeah, it's all flax.
It's crazy.
Yeah, well, and I was inspired by the flax issue of Fly. So they have these really cool moo cards. So the Fiberists, they're also, I think they also play in the House Cup.
Oh, okay.
I recognize their the guys are really nice. And I'm really bad with names, so I'm like drawing a blank on their names. Okay. But yeah, so that's what I got at Allentown. And then I was really good this last weekend. I didn't buy any fiber, but I did buy this. So you're thinking, but you sew. Why'd you buy a bag? Look at it. It's this lady is called Java Bags. This lady makes bags from recycled coffee sacks.
It's cool.
So this is like an actual coffee sack.
Burlap.
Made a bag. And she had these really cool ones that were like crossbody and like the strap was a tie. How awesome was that? But they were too small. Like the bags were too small. Like I couldn't use it. So I needed a bigger bag. So I got this one. And my only complaint is there's just one little pocket. But I figured it would be good for toting things around. I'm probably going to use it this weekend when I go to Maryland Sheep and Wool.
It's super cute.
And then this one has like a little thing. A little toggle button. So I had to get it. But like, so this is like the recycled coffee sack. And it has like a teal stripe down the back. Like, how pretty is that sack? And I got one that says coffee on it, and it has a coffee bean.
Mm-hmm.
Just because that's cool. So that's all that I got. Like, seriously, I did go a little crazy, though, at Allentown.
Yes, that's okay, though. You're allowed to do it once in a while. I guess, like, going to that many shows probably gives you the, I don't know, the fever of wanting to get stuff.
Yeah, and I've been, like, working so much. I was like, I need something to relax with. But, yeah. That's a lot. So I have all this new yarn. And I think, I'm trying to think of what I want to do for an order mission. I think it's a draw between a wallaby for Bella, which probably I wouldn't be able to finish because she's like an adult size now.
I'd say she's big now.
I think I might actually do the shawl I was thinking of. I don't know. But did you see, I don't know if you follow or if you don't, Fairy Tale Knits and Michelle from Crafty Flutterby are doing a kit for Maryland Sheep and Wool.
Okay.
And Michelle from Crafty Flutterby, which was formerly Michelle's Assortment, is now changed. It's like, it looks like a brioche almost knit shawl. And it uses 2 skeins of Dawn's Fairy Tale Knits colorways. And she has like 4 different ones. One's green, one's blue, one's pink, and then the other one, I don't remember what the other one is. But there are like different fairy tale themes. Like one is Harry Potter, one is Princess Bride. The other one is...
Have they posted pictures on like Instagram of like samples or...
Yeah, so she posted them on Instagram and on Facebook. And I just really loved them. So, but I think I might just buy the pattern because I have a ton of Dawn's yarn that I can just use. But I don't know if you saw the... I'm like looking her up, sorry. I can't like look in.
Is it...
Yeah, so here they are. One's purple, and it's Alice in Wonderland. And then the blue is... from purple. The purple one is Alice in Wonderland. The next one is...
Oh, okay.
Harry Potter. Then anyway, so those are the colorways that you can do it. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of the shawl that Michelle is.
Yeah, those are fun.
Um, yeah. So here is a close up of it. Okay, and that my colors are really bad, but it looks really cool. I wonder if she has
Almost like illusion knitting.
is I can't tell if it's illusion or if it's I don't know, but it's called Warwick Reflections. So and they're doing a knit along.
Okay.
So she's doing that, and they're having kits available at Maryland Sheep and Wool because Michelle has a booth. So I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I'm thinking I might stop by and see about getting a kit because I like the Alice in Wonderland colorway one, but I also like the Harry Potter ones, which are blue. I mean, which are the greens, but I also like the blues. So I don't know.
They're
And I
pretty.
don't know if I need to spend any more money because I have like reached. I'm never going to finish using all of my fiber or yarn. So, and I think my goal for this term is to spin more, knit more with my stuff. So yeah. But I am done talking about all of the stuff that I got.
That's funny.
It is. I don't think I've ever really gone and spent that much before. But yeah.
It happens.
But I'm all excited for Bella and her needle felting adventures. So I bought her a little pig.
That is cool.
But yeah. Anyway, um, that's what's been happening in my neck of the woods. Shows like I've been working so much. It's crazy. But so like yesterday I babysat one of the lady that I babysat for last year. Her babysitter was sick, so she asked if I could do it, and I was like, sure. So I just like didn't do anything. I still need to unpack the car. Yeah. Lots of fun. But I'm just rambling. Do you have any other randomness? You went to Crafters Retreat.
Yeah, I went to Crafters Tree. It was nice. I made up a bunch of Rolags. That's what I did. I like packed up like all my fiber, which
Is it
kind of comical as you're driving there because like it was like so full. It was a Subaru and like I had so much stuff. But
who did you go with?
Paulette, she drove. But so I have some roll. I need to like weigh and
Oh, cool. Those are pretty.
get them out. Uh, and I have some rainbow ones.
Ooh.
And this.
Oh, those are fun. Ooh,
Bright.
for fun.
I think these ones are my favorite.
Oh, those are pretty. Those are almost like gradient.
Yeah. And then I also made some just some bats.
Oh, cool.
And then to go along, I'm gonna make two with the rainbow ones. I made some pulled roving, so I'm gonna make a set, and they're gonna be like 4-ish ounces, where you could spin the Rolex and then spin this pulled roving, and it'll make a fractal.
Oh, cool. That'll be awesome.
But yeah, I did the pulled roving, and it was fun. Kind of a pain, but anyway.
Oh no, she's paused again.
So I have two of these in 7 months.
Cool.
Can you still hear me, or did I go away completely?
No, you came back.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I think I did like 6 or 7 pounds total. And then I knit a lot on Truban's sweater too. I just kind of I didn't know I was gonna go for sure. And then like Chloe was sick the night before, or starting to not feel good the night before. And then that morning of when I was supposed to leave, she said she was fine. And then we were driving up there, and like a half hour away, which it's 3 hours away, I get a call from the school saying that she's not feeling well. And I was like, ah, so then I kind of felt bad the whole weekend because she was home sick. Anyways, but so it was still nice to go, but it was not as relaxing as it should be.
Yeah.
Um, but it was still good to get away and like, yeah.
Um, I just found something else that I got. So I renewed my Ply membership, or magazine renewed it for like a year.
Okay.
Maybe I did 2 years. I don't remember. But that's like the only magazine I subscribe to. But when they did that, she had this book called 51 Yarns,
Oh,
Spin Before You Cast Off. And actually, I don't know if you follow Ply on Facebook, but they've been doing a spin along. Like every week, they're doing a different yarn, a different chapter in this book.
okay.
But it's like this one's like spinning in the grease, and it just talks about it. And like I actually haven't gotten to sit down and read it because I've been that busy. But
That
I
sounds
ordered this because I was renewing my membership subscription, and so I was like, oh, it was like $20, and I like JC Boggs. And I think it like the illustrated by Kirsten Slade is so good. I
that's
love it.
cool.
They're like it's like super cute, and it has all different kinds of things. Talks about all different kinds of spinning in there, like roll legs, and
I had to renew mine a while ago, so I didn't see that.
it's new, like
This
just within this past month, maybe 2 months.
okay.
Because
That's
the
it.
Fox issue I got was my last one, and I had the thing,
Oh yeah, mine didn't.
like it comes in a bag and it says renew with this code. So I put it on my computer desk for when I had some extra money, and then I had all these shows, so I had a little bit extra money. So I renewed my membership or subscription, and then I was like, I'm gonna get this book too. But yeah, so they're doing a spin like on Instagram too. I think they're doing a spin along. I haven't joined it because like I haven't had a lot of time, but it's kind of cool. Like they're talking about tail spinning in this one.
Very cool.
So I don't know what week they're on. I think they're probably on the first couple. I don't think they're very far into it. So if you pick it up, like you can just order it from their website. But I would recommend it because that's cool. But anyways, we're going to Maryland Sheepable on Sunday.
It's crazy.
I'm excited. But I really like your Rolex. Are you going to post them online?
Yeah, I need to like weigh them and picture them and all that jazz.
Which is like a full-time job in itself, the
I
picture.
know. But yeah, I'll have them up sometime soonish, hopefully.
That's cool. All right, we are just rambling, so we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Um, Thanks for sticking around this long
Yeah.
and through all of the hiccups. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.